Well, looks like Kellen Moore is doing his thing. We finally hired our QB coach, and it's a really good hire. I want to go over A.J. Brown's comments on a podcast regarding Brian Johnson getting fired, the Eagles' offense, what it's going to look like next year, and what he thinks about it. And we're going to go over a wide receiver for the wide receiver 3 position, a low-key name that, maybe people are starting to talk about now from Georgia that I'm pretty excited about and think he could slide to us. So let's get into all of it. Yeah.
We better turn around. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. So I want to go over some news for the Philadelphia Eagles. And as of right now, when it comes to the report for what the Eagles have hired, Kellen Moore. Now, the Kellen Moore stuff has not been official yet regarding just him as an OC in general. And I know it with Vic Fangio got hired. It took a little bit of time, but there is more news on the QB coach report. And it looks like that Doug Newsomewhere, if I'm saying his name right, as the quarterback coach, and, was with Kellen Moore in 2018 with the Dallas Cowboys, was with Kellen Moore in Los Angeles with the Chargers last year as well, which is really great. You know what I mean? I mean, you're hiring experience. The one word I've been saying, experience, experience, experience. And you get a guy, and Newsomer, that he's been coaching quarterbacks since 2001, a long time. Okay, so he's been in the business a long time, been around, I think, 4 other colleges, and, has done a really good job with quarterbacks in general. I mean, has helped Kellen Moore with some of the, the play sheet and how to use the quarterback. And I really hope that, this really helps Jalen Hurts, okay? And they use him the right way and use that dual threat capability that he has. I've seen what they've done with Dak Prescott in the past, a lot of these RPOs, but obviously we know the difference. We know that Jalen Hurts could put the team on his back when it's all mattered on him. We've seen it a lot of times last year in these second halves, during the gauntlet of these football games last year. And hopefully this is a good hire. And when I think about this hiring, I say to myself, okay, I really want Jalen Hurts to go back to 2022, and maybe he'll be better. I know he's regressed, but I know a lot of Eagle fans have given up on him, want to trade him, stupid crap like that. I know the type of quarterback he is. And trust me, if he ended up being the same way he is last year, I'll be completely shocked if he looks that way last year. Between the route combinations, situational football, not running the football with a specific player that we wanted him to run with, that we wanted Nick to run with. I mean, there's a lot of things that need to be fixed here. And, when you have 2 guys that have worked together in the past, it's a really good thing. They just worked together last year, and they worked together on the Dallas Cowboys. So the relationship is always there. Accountability is there. And I think this is the best roster that Kellen Moore is going to coach and scheme up. Okay. Just for the dream of seeing crossers and just to see different route combinations. And if Jalen Hurts is extending plays to the left or the right, which most of the time he goes to the right, and then just sees people open and just throws the ball quick and not waiting till he goes all the way to the sideline to throw a last second pass, it's a great thing. So we haven't touched our own roster yet, but the coaching staff is starting to come together and getting an experienced quarterback coach that, can get this quarterback to where he has to be. That's where it's all going to be really important. And Kellen Moore is going to scheme really well. And we're going to see, routes all over the place and get these guys open. And, I'm just hoping that they can run the football a little bit more. I mean, we'll come to that when we get to it. Kellen Moore likes to scheme that passing game. He likes to use every strand of that quarterback's ability because he gets the most out of his quarterbacks when it comes to, throwing the football. And when you have a dual threat capability involved in the situation, they could do so much more with him. Hopefully they don't run a train on him, literally like they did early in the season, where Hurts was getting hit way too much early in the season, hence why he had that knee injury. And kind of, to get his speed back was definitely an element that we were missing last year with that knee injury all year. So you lost some speed. They had to keep him as a pocket guy, but now it's a fresh year. Jalen Hurts will get to 100% full health. He'll be getting a lot faster, and I'm excited to see what these two do, especially the new quarterback coach and what's to come of it. So pretty excited about that and hope to see more down the line. Now, Adam Kaplan said some things about the move as well, which I thought was really interesting. He said, Doug Newsomer is very close to Kellen Moore. Started coaching with him in 18 with the Cowboys. He's technically still under contract with the Chargers, but one coaching source told me it would be a huge upset if he doesn't travel to become the Eagles' new QB coach. So that's really good, man. I mean, the success has got to be there around Kellen Moore. So that's what I'm seeing between both of these sides when it comes to Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore. They're hiring guys they have help them be successful. Now, has Vic Fangio reached the Super Bowl with his defense? No. Has, Kellen Moore reached the Super Bowl with his offense? No. But, this might be the best offensive roster that Kellen Moore and Doug Newsomer have been around, to be honest with you. And, other than a wide receiver 3 and a running back, your offense is pretty much set. And I don't think it'll be a huge problem filling both of those holes up. Pause. And then with the defense, it's a tweak, it's a retool, and finding coaches that have been successful with Vic Fangio, which Vic Fangio has been doing the whole time. So it's nice to see that on both sides. A guy that's coached quarterback since 2001, has been with Kellen Moore multiple occasions on 2 different other rosters. So very excited about it, and we'll see what happens in the future, man. But this is a good hiring, in my opinion. I think it was awesome. Now, A.J. Brown was on Maddie's podcast the other day and talked about, obviously, Brian Johnson getting fired. A.J. Brown kind of saying, well, someone has to take the blame. Someone has to be the bad guy. But all I could do is I don't get close with the coordinators. A.J. Brown kind of says I don't really get close with the coordinators at all. He kind of says, I just go out there and play. Just put me in the right position to win football games, and that's pretty much it. If I could summarize it for you just like that. I think since really the last 7 games of the season, really all year, because the Eagles have never been dominating for one football game last year, but A.J. Brown and the rest of this team definitely went up to the coaching staff. I know Hurts has had the individual problems with Brian Johnson, the leaks that were coming up that Jalen Hurts was like, we need to do more intermediate routes. We need to do more of the middle of the field stuff. And Nick kind of put it under the rug, never listened to Jalen Hurts. And I think A.J. Brown, behind the scenes, and some of the players went to not the front office, but went to Nick Sirianni, went to Brian Johnson, say, hey, we need to change this. This is not working. And I think that's one of the reasons why A.J. Brown just didn't talk to the media for 2 weeks, because he was going to regret certain things that he was going to say. And I don't think he got a good answer out of the coaching staff for what A.J. Brown wanted. I mean, there was too much going on, especially on the sidelines. I mean, you see the coaches at times, Devontae Smith having issues, Jason Kelce. I mean, you're seeing things that you normally don't see. And there's always going to be these little discussions on the sideline every football game. Like, it does happen. But when your team is not making any adjustments every week, and these players are getting more frustrated, it's just to a point now where you're losing the locker room, and it's going to affect you 100%. And I think A.J. Brown went behind the scenes, talked to the coaching staff, didn't get an answer that he wanted, and said, screw it, I don't care. Like, he cares about his teammates, but he doesn't care about the coaching staff. And I don't even think he cares about who even, he just wants to get someone hired to get the job done. He doesn't even get close to OCs, get close in relationship-wise. It's like, I'm getting paid the money to put on the helmet and make these brilliant catches and get schemed open in this offense, and that's all that matters to me. Just make sure you hire a guy that's capable of how to use us. So A.J. Brown pretty much said, I just want to be used the right way with everybody else, and I hope that's what they do. I hope with Kellen Moore, now this new QB coach and everything else that rolls into it now, I hope good things come out of A.J. Brown, and that A.J. Brown could talk shit all he wants. He's a lot of games where the Eagles 6 games, 125 plus yards. I mean, breaking Calvin Johnson's record. I mean, a lot of people can't break a record like that. It's almost impossible at times. But A.J. Brown, has broken, Mike Quick's receiving record. I mean, he's with it, what he's done the last couple seasons have been absolutely amazing. And he's got the right to talk whatever he wants to talk. Okay. Without him, we don't win half of our games. Without Jalen Hurts, we don't win half of our games. Okay. That's just realistic. It's just the realistic capability of it. And these players were literally it was a cry for help, and they didn't get any help. And so they revolted, and the players said, I'm just gonna play, but they however the chips fall are gonna fall where they may, and that's it. And it didn't fall well at all. So that's the news. AJ Brown and everything that's going on with him. Now I want to go over a wide receiver that I've been looking at the last couple of days. I've been God, so good. I mean, there's so much going on, like, until we get to these official visits. But interesting enough, Lad McConkey from Georgia, okay, he was interviewed by the Eagles twice. Usually, like, everyone gets interviewed once, but he had the Senior Bowl, the game, everything. It was great. Overthrown a few times, but I mean, his Senior Bowl one-on-ones were just Jesus. I mean, he's an ankle breaker at 6 foot, 185 pounds. I mean, tracks the football well, short area quickness. I'm tired of getting guys that are just fast. I need route runners. I need route capability. I mean, I need a guy that could break ankles. And let me tell you, this guy could do it on the inside. He might slide a little bit further up the draft board. How far, I don't know. First round pick, not really sure. Don't really think it's going to get that crazy unless his combine, he just kills it. I don't know. But Lad McConkey, and yes, I'm not just saying this because it's a Georgia player. This just came out of nowhere a couple days ago. People were talking about him. But this is a guy I think would be a perfect wide receiver 3, breaking ankles, short area quickness, tracking the football. Vertical routes are fantastic. But like I said, we've had the Quez Watkins type players, Shelton Gibson type players. We've had guys like that. Okay. And I'm tired of having guys with just speed. I want to see guys that have that little bit of burst, that makes you fear a little bit on the inside. We need that mismatch. We need that twitchy ass player on the inside. And I think you have that with Lad McConkey. Just look at what he could do. Look at some of his Senior Bowl stuff. Look at some of his Georgia stuff. It's amazing. And this could be a mid-round pick type player that could really be under the radar for the Eagles as a number 3. You don't want to draft wide receiver 3s, too high. But I think this right here would be great. And look, I want to see more. I want to see what the combine does. I want to see what he does. We'll see. But I'm very high on him right now. Shout to Mayor Slime for that too, because he was kind of tweeting him out like the last few days. I was like, who is this guy? Everybody's raving about this guy, and I could see why. I don't know what cornerback is going to want to even line up against him. That's how crazy it is. Whether it's like he looks like an Amendola he's just, his feet are insane. Very twitchy. Love it so much. Definitely watch him when you get the chance. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. I will see you guys on the next one. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more news for the Eagles every single day. And make sure you like the video as well. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes, what up, follow, slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.